Welcome to Soul Rising. We're your hosts, Amy and Erin. We're two everyday mediums who are passionate about taking the woo-woo out of spirituality and bringing it down to earth. So put the kettle on, grab a chair, and join us.
Hi, everyone. Welcome back.
Welcome back, everyone.
Amy has her ghost shirt on, which I really love.
Yeah, Old Navy, Halloween stuff's out,
Whoop, whoop.
people. Fall stuff. I went to Michael's. Well, I went to Michael's the other day, but I also went to Michael's about 3 weeks ago, and they had fall and Halloween stuff out. So yeah,
that would have been back in July.
Yeah, mid-July they had like their pumpkin stuff out because I actually bought this like really beautiful vase that has a sunflower on the front of it, but it was with all the fall stuff, and that was like the middle of July.
Wow.
Yeah,
Cool.
They start early, but yeah,
I
mean, it's almost like soon we'll be in, well, when this is out, we're in September, so school is about to start, and then it's Halloween, and then it's Christmas, and then Happy New Year, so, you know. That's where we're at.
There you go. Yeah.
So, yeah, let's talk about, like, I don't know, the energy of September. I always feel September feels like a new year in a way, just because of back to school kind of stuff. Mm-hmm. And I really come alive in the fall. It's when I feel like I come alive. Interestingly enough, have I ever shared, I'm always sharing about books I know, but there's this book that I bought. I don't know if I've ever talked about it here. I bought it maybe like 6-7 months ago. And I've recommended it to a few people, and they've since bought it, and they've been like, oh my God, like even people that aren't like super into astrology or like in-depth knowledge of.
Right.
My goodness, what is it called right now? The Book of Houses is what it's called. Okay,
I feel like you've talked about it.
Have I talked about it?
Maybe.
Have I talked about it here?
Maybe not.
Maybe. Oh, maybe it was in the Synchronicities episode. I don't know, but it's a thin book. It's relatively cheap. I think it used to be like $11. I think now it's up to like $15 on Amazon. Regardless, still relatively inexpensive. And you figure out your like harvest, like your manifestation cycle essentially for the year based on the degrees in your chart. We did talk about this, but the reason it's coming to my mind in this moment is because that was a synchronicity with what we were just talking about, which is that I feel like I come alive in the fall.
Yeah,
and that's because because the start of my like new cycle, annual cycle, is September 6th. And September 6th is actually my father's birthday. So I thought that was like...
That is really cool.
Interesting. Yeah. So that's literally why I feel that new juicy energy in September.
Yeah.
Outside of the fact that, it's back to school and we've kind of been like, conditioned to feel like this is new energy.
But it's really cool when you have that information to kind of support what you've already been feeling.
Yeah.
On like another kind of scale.
I should figure out what yours is. Like I'd have to have your chart in front of me, but I know that I could do that easily because we've done that before, and just figure out what your, it's basically like the houses in astrology, how there's like 12 and we like moves counterclockwise. So like my 11th house starts, September 6th, and then it moves all the way through. Yeah. It's cool. It's cool. Even if you're like not into astrology, it's still, I feel like really tied into manifestation. And so if you're more like a manifestation person, you could use this as a way to track that cycle. Like when it's really important to plant those seeds. So this September 6th is not the start of my 11th house. I think that's the start of, I don't know. Anyways, that's
but there's significance.
There's significance with that date. The start of the 11th house actually was July 7th, and it went to August 7th. And the reason I'm bringing that up is because that is the time period based on what this book is telling me that it's most important for me to plant seeds, to work on manifestation, to like kind of dream big, so to speak. And so I intentionally did things in that time period that I hope reflect back for me the whole rest of the year, including reaching out to Sean Leonard and saying, hey, you want to come on my podcast? Like that was me planting a seed. Going, okay, universe, I'm ready for more. Big time, like bring it this way, right? And so that's why I did that in that time period.
Okay.
Yeah. So we shall see how it comes about the rest of the year. Yeah.
That's really cool. Yeah. I'd be curious.
I'll work out yours.
What is the book called again? The Book of Houses. The Book of Houses. Okay, for our listeners.
Maybe we can
link it
I'll
in the
link
show
it.
notes.
I'll
Yeah.
link it. Yeah, I bought mine on Amazon, and it's like an older book. I feel like it's from the 80s or maybe even earlier, but it's very
Yeah, but
relevant.
still relevant. Yeah.
Yeah, yeah. So what's new with you?
Um, well, my friend was over. I hadn't seen her in a while. Well, actually, since the wedding, and
Right.
she was like, I have your birthday gift, but I haven't given it to you because we just hadn't seen each other." And so she came over not too long ago, and she was like, I have your birthday gift." So she got me these beautiful. I'll show you the box. They're called the Druid Plant Oracle cards. They're really pretty. So they're by Philip and Stephanie Cargo, and plant-based oracle cards. So I really, really like it. The box has some flowers. It's got mountains in the background, some hills, a river, and then all of the cards are different plants, and they all have different meanings. So like this one is, I'll show you, a mandrake. So it's got purple
Mm-hmm.
flowers. Um, this one's really cool. I like this one. This one's called Meadow Sweet. And so for our listeners, there's some yellow flowers with bees, but then there's also a face on the
Mm-hmm.
corner out of foliage,
Mm-hmm.
which is really cool. So
Those
I
look
like them.
nice.
They're beautiful. And I was like, I haven't bought Oracle cards in so long. So I was like, this is perfect. What a great gift.
Mm-hmm.
Um, yeah, she was really sweet. Really
So
cool
sweet.
cards. Yeah.
So
But
sweet.
that's my big new thing. Oh, and I'm going on a spiritual retreat next weekend. So this would be in the past for our listeners. So this is August 11th. I'm going to Niagara Falls with a medium friend and family friend slash aunt I never had, Maureen, and she runs these retreats in Niagara, and they're like spiritual
Mm-hmm.
retreats for folks. And so I've never been. My mom's been just a few times, and so I was like, I want to go this time. So I'm going. I'm really excited
So
about it.
exciting. Yeah.
Yeah, so
You have to
I'll
let
have
me
to like
know.
I'll let you guys know how it goes. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
I don't
That's
really
really
know what to
cool.
expect. I just know when I get there, there's a set itinerary that we don't have
Yeah.
to, but
So it's
she's
like
got
just a
different things.
weekend, like a
Yeah.
Friday to Sunday thing type thing?
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah. Very cool. I have a dream of doing that one
Yeah,
one
I'd love
year.
to set something up like that.
You know what's it's funny because we always talk about how like the universe responds to our desires, especially if they're aligned with us and we're,
Yeah.
you know, taking some initiative, like some action
Yeah.
towards initiation. That's something that I've talked about for years, is wanting to do that. But in my mind, I've always kind of put it aside to like when I move back to the East Coast, I will have a retreat. I don't know why, but it's almost like
You can kind of see it there.
I can see it there. And so a couple weeks ago, a client slash follower slash friend messaged me, and she's like, when are you moving back again? She's back in Nova Scotia. And I was like,
Yeah.
oh, you missed my announcement. I'm not coming back this summer. I'm waiting for another year. And she's like, oh. And she goes, okay, because I want to share like what I am currently manifesting, and it is buying a property that's like an old farmhouse with a big piece of
Wow.
land. And she said, I plan to live here, but I also plan to host spiritual retreats. And I was hoping that you would be somebody that would regularly do that with me. And I was like,
Oh, that is so
dude, I'm
cool.
so there. I'm so
Wow.
there. Yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah.
no kidding. Alignment.
Yeah. Alignment. And I
Wow.
was like, okay, universe, like I will definitely do that when the
Oh,
time
I
comes.
could so see you.
That would
And
be
like in
cool.
a old barn house too, for set that feels like
Outside,
you.
like, yeah, with the wildflowers and
Yeah.
yeah, yeah, that's exciting for me when I think about it.
Ooh.
So I have new cards too. So I
Yeah.
haven't
What did you?
purchased. Well, I haven't purchased any like new card. Well, I did pre-order a deck about a month ago, and it hasn't arrived. It's arriving on the 8th of August. Again, back in time for our listeners. August 8th. I pre-order. I do that like whenever somebody gives me like a gift of like a gift card or money, I'll like pre-order things that
Yeah.
I want.
Yeah.
So I pre-ordered Sean Leonard's new book, which comes
Yes.
out on the 8/8. He also has new Oracle deck coming out the end of October, and you can pre-order that. Wisdom of the Elders, I think the
I
Oracle
definitely
deck
want
is
to
called.
grab
I
that.
definitely will be
Yeah.
purchasing that Oracle deck. But I also ordered this new tarot deck that will be here on 8/8. So I'll have to show
Cool.
you, next time we meet and I
Yeah.
have the deck. It's called the Unfolding Path. and it's a tarot
Ooh.
deck. And I'm very picky about tarot. I only have one that I use regularly, which is the Lightseer's Tarot.
Mm-hmm.
Um, but I was just drawn to this. And so I hope that it resonates with me when it comes. But the other day, maybe about a week, 10 days ago, I noticed like on Facebook Marketplace that somebody had like, like there was like 4 or 5 decks of oracle cards, and there was
Mm-hmm.
like 3 or 4 books of tarot kind
Wow.
of books.
Oh, cool.
And
And
it
they
was
were,
like $20 for like the bundle. And I was like, so anyways, I said, I'll come get them. One of the decks I already have, so I gave it to a neighbor friend of mine. And then this one I was really excited about because I didn't have it. It's called Goddess
oh,
Power.
yes.
Um, there's also a couple, let me see. There's White Light Oracle, and
Yeah.
there's this cat one. Let me see if I can reach it. Which I think I'm going to give to my daughter. It doesn't super resonate with me, but
Aw.
Fantasy Cat Oracle. Have you ever seen this before?
No, I haven't seen that.
It's like interesting. So it doesn't have very many cards. I actually looked and I was like, are we missing cards in here? But no, it's this book and 23 cards. So there's
Okay.
not very many cards,
Yeah.
but they're like,
Oh, cool.
they're
Oh,
so cute.
they're really cute. Oh, look at, I like the pictures. Oh,
This one says, Winter, the delicate feeling of night.
mm.
Um, yeah.
Oh, that's cute.
What does this
Oh.
one say? Attitude, desiring belonging. I don't know. They're cute, but this came with it.
Wow, that's a great deal.
I know. I said to the lady, it was funny too, because I got to her house and I was like, my friend used to live like right around here. I feel like I was having like deja vu, and she goes,
Yeah.
who's your friend? So I said her name, and she goes, this was her house. We bought it from her. And I was like, that's why I'm like having deja vu of them standing there. But the lady was like, yeah, my daughter went away to college, and she's not moving back home, and so she just asked us to get rid of some stuff. And I said, okay, well, if you have any
Wow.
more of this stuff, let me know, and I can share it. If she can share what like I don't need or what I already have, and she said she'd let me know. But I mean, this doesn't even look like it's ever like been opened.
Been
It's
opened.
like
It looked. Yeah, I was gonna say because it looked brand new when you.
I put the thing in
Yeah,
there, but
that thing in there.
yeah, I
The little
really
tabs.
wanted these, so that was cool. It's always nice when you can find cards. So we're gonna do a little card pull today in a little bit,
Yeah.
but let's talk about quickly. Some people will say like there's kind of like I don't necessarily like the term old wives tale, but you know what I mean, like kind of a
Right.
little bit
There's
of
a yeah.
there's some
Lore.
opinions.
Would you
Yeah,
say? I don't know.
around like purchasing your own cards, or
Right.
like
Yes.
if you purchase used
It's like
cards. Let's talk.
superstition.
Yeah, superstitions. What is your opinion about that? Like about purchasing pre-owned cards?
Hogwash.
Me too. I agree. I think it's just like ridiculous. I'm sure Spirit is like, please start reusing your shit so you can stop polluting the world.
Yeah,
Like, please
exactly.
go buy some used cards, please. I don't. I really
Yeah.
don't think there's anything to that.
No, I don't either. I think no. I think it's just people we put, labels on things, or we want to kind of make things a little bit, I don't know, but it's not. I don't believe in it.
I have bought my own tarot cards, especially with tarot.
Oh,
You hear that a
most
lot
of
with
mine
tarot.
I think I've bought like the majority of my cards.
Yeah, but you often hear that about tarots, like you need to be gifted your
Yes,
first
you need
deck.
to be
And I'm
gifted your
like,
first deck.
no. So we don't believe in that. And then as for like if you purchase pre-owned cards, for me, like when I first used this deck, I did do what I do with new cards too, which
Yeah,
is
you
I'll
just
open the
get your
box and I literally will touch every card.
Yeah.
And I just kind of touch every card, and whether this infuses my energy in it or not.
Yeah.
It's just something that I do. I think it's based on my intention because I feel like it's cleansing the cards.
Yeah,
So
and that's
therefore
all that it is. Yeah.
That's all it is.
It's your
So that's all I
intention.
did. Yeah, that's all I did was touch each card, vision it. Like I kind of set my intention. I'm cleansing each card by touching it, and that was that.
Yeah.
So yeah. I
I
wanted to
love
share
it.
that with
Well,
you.
I love those cards that you got
Thank you.
from that lady.
Yeah. Yeah, and really cool tarot books. They're all upstairs because I've been going through. I'm a nerd, so I bought like you know the sticky tabs, but they're like the
Yeah.
plasticky ones.
Yeah.
Yeah, so I've been putting those, like every suit has like a different color,
Oh
and like I like the
yeah, yeah,
major
yeah, yeah,
arcana, so like I can
yeah.
just like flip through very
You
quickly.
flip. Yeah, yeah, yeah.
Yeah,
That's perfect. That's very smart.
yeah, yeah,
Yeah.
yeah. Um, so that's that. I have found, I know we're in September now, but I have found August, maybe we're still in this energy in September. I have found August very emotional. What about
Mm.
you? Have you noticed?
Yes.
Mm,
I've been a bit emotional.
yeah.
I mean, I'm also an emotional person, so there could be
Mm-hmm.
that.
Me too.
Um, it feels like it's a time to let go of certain things, um, whether that's literally or metaphorically.
Mm-hmm.
It feels like it's a time of letting go. I don't know. I don't know if that resonates with
Mm-hmm.
you.
I think so. I think so. Yeah.
Like
Yeah,
there's some transitions.
I found a lot. Like I've been exceptionally emotional. I know I put some like polls out
Yeah.
on my stories in the last week or so, like because the other day I was so low energy. I literally like was just felt like I was walking in quicksand. And my husband was, my kids all were feeling the same. It was like a
Mm.
thunder and lightning kind of day. So we just like watched movies and stuff, which
Yeah.
was really nice.
Yeah.
But I put out a call and I was like, this can't just be me because my kids are feeling this way. My husband's feeling this way. So I said, is anybody else feeling low energy? And it was like 100%. Like every single person that saw the thing and voted said yes.
Mm-hmm.
I think that was like post full moon vibes because we did
Mm.
have full
We had
moon
a full moon.
the
Yeah.
other day.
Yeah. It
Um,
was
uh,
massive.
it was a massive, yeah. And I woke up with clarity yesterday. So that would have been like, I don't know, a couple days post full moon. I do feel like the full moon kind of grips me for about maybe like 6 or 7 days. So it's like the 3 days before and the 3 days
Yeah.
after. And I'm just
After.
like on an emotional roller coaster.
Yep. Yep.
Um,
Yeah.
and then I feel like, oh, like what happened? I feel so much better and lighter. And that happened for me yesterday. But I did a live, like not on Facebook or Instagram. It was like a live that I set up through Zoom, like a
Mm-hmm.
private room. It was for like intuitive card readings, and it was for my
Oh, right.
private community.
Yeah.
And it ended up being a small group, which was great. And like some people had to leave, so there was like just a couple people left to the very end. And I broke down, like literally sobbing uncontrollably. We started talking about grief and my grandmother, and I
Wow.
was like
Yeah.
literally like this, and I was like, oh my god, guys, like I
It
felt
has to.
fucking mortified, but at the same time it was like I must have needed that, and I
Needed to
think it was like
release.
purposeful that there was just those couple of people at the end. And it was just really strange. Like I allow myself to cry and to feel how I feel, but like it's very like strange for me to feel like
Oh, well, when you're
it
on
was
Zoom with
with
people
people,
too,
right? And it
it's
was like uncontrollably, and like I couldn't stop it even if I wanted to. And
yeah.
every time I tried to go stop, 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 like I was like stop crying, I couldn't stop crying. It was making it
Yeah.
worse, and I was like, oh my god, I just have to let this. And the minute I kind of just let it, I felt better.
You
I
felt better
felt so
after.
much better. But release and
Release.
letting things go, because for me, how they talk about like the stages of grief,
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
I'm kind of in my angry stage, and even
Yeah.
if I say it, my voice quivers.
You can hear it
I'm
in your
mad.
yeah.
Yeah, yeah, um yeah. So I just had this release about I'm angry about things. And
Yeah.
whether or not that's like about losing someone, like for our listeners, or whether or not you're
Yeah.
just like feel like you're losing something else, or you're disappointed by something, or something hasn't worked out the way you want
Yeah.
it to. I feel
It,
like we're in the season of release.
yeah. I think so
Yeah.
too. And
Mm.
I feel like that's been happening kind of throughout the summer a little bit. I don't know about you, but it feels like that's what's happening.
Yeah.
Especially with readings that I've been giving too. There seems to be just this general theme of release, letting go. The words catch and release just came through. Um, so you get something, then you have to like give it, or giving it back, and somehow I don't know.
Or even like what immediately thought of or felt when you said catch and release is like you catch it. We the emotion comes to you
Mm,
and you allow it to move through you and
yeah.
then you release it. But like the catch part is like, what is it trying to tell you? Like, what's the
Mm-hmm.
lesson here? Like, what's the gift of the emotion?
Yes.
Maybe that's the catch. And
Gift.
then,
Yeah.
but then don't hold on to it.
Don't
Don't
hold on to it.
internalize it. Don't
Let
attach
it,
to it. Release
let
it.
that fish go.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. I like that. Catch and release is
Catch
our
and release.
title. That's
Also
our
is a
title
really great
today.
movie, Catch and Release, with Jennifer Garner.
Speaking of TV and stuff,
that movie
I just started a show yesterday. So I've been binge watching One Tree Hill for about like 6 weeks.
Oh my god, I remember
Um,
One Tree Hill.
I never watched it at the time, right? But like that was also like my generation because it came out when I was like 23, you know, like
Yeah,
I'm surprised I didn't watch it, but I didn't. But I've been taking a break from it because I'm trying to like savor it because I don't want to like get through it and then like have none left.
Yeah.
So I saw this preview on Prime do you have Prime?
Yes, yeah.
This show came in. I think there's 3 episodes up so far, and they release a new one every week. It's called The Lost Flowers
I
of
was just gonna
Alice
ask you
Hart.
if it's that. I haven't watched it yet, but like I feel like
So
I wanted to
first of
start
all,
it.
I was like, okay, I watched the trailer and I was like enthralled, and I'm like, I need to see this. It has Sigourney Weaver in it.
Yep.
But like all the other actors and actresses seem to be Australian because it has some of my favorite Australian actors and actresses show up in this episode. And it is, I actually started yesterday, so I watched the first episode. It is set in Australia. But I was like, I need to read the book. It's like based on like the
It's
best-selling book.
based
I
on a
need to read
book,
the book.
right? Yeah, yeah.
So I looked for it, and they have it in Indigo, they have it in Amazon, but it says like 2 to 5 weeks to come. And I'm
Yeah.
like, I couldn't find it
2
at the
to 5
library.
weeks.
I know, and I'm like, why?
What
Anyways,
about Indigo? Did you check Indigo?
I looked there too, and it also said it would be 2 to 5 weeks to come, and I'm like,
Weird.
weird. So anyways, I ordered it. I don't know when it's going to come, but obviously I don't have patience to wait for the book. I wanted to read the book first.
Yeah.
But I watched the first episode and I'm just like, this
It's
is
really
so
good, eh?
good. But I'm wondering like if there's a witchy connection, because what they show is like periodically through scenes, they'll show like different flowers, and then it will say something underneath like for I don't know, like I will never forget you, or release, or you know, like they'll use different terms, and it will just show on the screen, and then it will fade away. And so I'm like, that makes me feel like there's some sort of witchy thing, but I don't know how it's going to play out. I don't know what the story is, but it's really cool. I think you should watch it.
I'm gonna watch it.
Watch the first episode and report back.
Okay, well,
I love Sigourney Weaver in it.
I love Sigourney Weaver.
Yeah.
I love.
Do you know that I have a cousin named Sigourney? So I pronounce it
No.
Sigourney because my cousin's name is Sigourney. She was named after her.
Whoa! So it's Sigourney.
Yeah. Her name's Sigourney. Yeah, we call her Sigourney rather than Sigourney. Yeah. Yeah, she was born in like 85, and I remember like all of the other girls have like names that are, you know, more traditional or like, you know, like well known. And and I remember asking my aunt and uncle, and they're like, we just really like Sigourney Weaver. I'm like, okay, cool.
We love the movie Alien.
That's her name. That's her name. Yeah.
I love it.
Yeah, it's cool, eh? I don't think I've ever like met another or ever heard of another.
No, I haven't.
I've never like looked up like the origins of the name or anything. Like, I have no idea where it comes from.
I'm not sure.
It's cool. Yeah. So everybody, you guys should check out that show or read the book or let us know. Like, have you read the book?
Yeah.
It's about a 400-page book.
Oh.
And I looked up the author also has another one that's out for pre-order right now. So there's like another story coming out in the next couple of months. So yeah, maybe it's like another author that we like. Like, what's the one that we like that with the Lighthouse Witches and
her book is on my dresser that I finished the Lighthouse Witches. Oh no, I finished. What is it? The other one?
The mushroom one.
Yeah.
I know I can't remember her name, but didn't you say that that's going to be made into a TV show?
Yes, they're making it into a TV show. I'm gonna look it up because it's gonna bother me.
I can't remember her name.
C.J. Cook.
That's right, C.J. Cook.
Scottish.
Yeah. I'm really excited for. I think she's got something new coming out.
Oh yeah, I think there's another one coming out.
Yeah. So these are kind of like witchy kind of books in a way.
Yeah,
like there's an undertone,
magic element to it.
Yeah. I'm discovering that's one of my favorite, like historical fiction is my favorite genre, but I
Yeah.
found an author recently, my goodness, I can't remember her name. That's going to bother me. I know her name's Barbara, but I can't remember her last name. I'll put it in the show notes. Anyways, ended up buying like 3 books of hers on a whim on Amazon about like 3 or 4 months ago because they were on like a flash kind of sale. They were
Yeah.
normally like $15 each and they were like $7.99. So I took a chance and I bought the 3 because she has amazing reviews on Goodreads. And she blends historical fiction, at least in the last one I read, with magical realism. And those
Oh.
2 together is like, oh, like that's it for me. Like blending the 2 of those together,
blending
I'm
those two
like,
together. Yeah.
speaking of magical realism, Alice Hoffman has a new book coming out
Oh.
in August. So when this airs, it will already be out, but she's got a new one coming out too.
I didn't even know that. Alice Hoffman. I like Alice Hoffman. Okay.
Practical
I'm gonna
Magic
check it out.
Lady.
Yeah.
Yeah. Do you know that there's like a whole like Practical Magic, but then
Yeah, it's
there's
a whole
like,
series, isn't it?
yeah, I've read all of them. Have
Yeah.
you read
No,
them?
I just know the first one. But I
Yeah.
haven't. Yeah.
Because one goes way, way, way back in time. Like
Yeah.
it's very historical fiction. And then one goes back to like the 60s ish. And then there's one that's about
There's
the
so
children of the children. And like, so one goes forward,
Yeah,
one goes
one
back,
goes
one
back.
goes a little bit back. But like, yeah, I highly recommend that whole
the whole
witchy
series.
books.
Witchy books. Yeah, she has so many.
Yeah. Yeah. Amazing. Amazing. Amazing.
Anyways,
What do you
okay.
feel like doing a card pull today?
Yeah, let's do it.
Let's do a card pull.
Card
Well,
pull?
I'm going to set my intention to like, okay, so like what are
For
we
what,
being
September?
asked to release or like
Mm.
maybe because we've got this theme of release. I'll let you go first and then I'll.
Okay.
And I don't know these cards well, so I definitely will be referring to the guidebook.
I'm going to see where the release is leading us. Does that make sense?
Okay. And
Yeah.
maybe I'll ask what is the release?
Yeah. So you go,
that means
yeah.
I'll go first? Okay. What is the release? Oh, this is so aligned. Because when you were asking me about the energy for August, I was thinking back to my August energy forecast on my podcast. And I know there was a lot of that feeling of like frustration and like maybe tension and release was absolutely a theme and like being in the present moment, but a lot of messages were coming in about time and that time is the root. Like it's almost like this feeling of like I'm running out of time or I'm impatient about timing or you know that came in and this card literally says time on it. So that's why I was like, whoo.
Okay.
So I don't know what her name is here. Erin Hod. It's Arianrhod. I don't know how to pronounce it. She is a goddess, though.
Erin
Look, she matches my nails. How aligned.
Yes, how appropriate.
Let's look. So this is number 3. So she's a goddess. I'm so sorry that I didn't pronounce your name right. The empowerment message. I love how Colette does this. So if like it comes in as empowerment, if it's like this, if it comes in reverse, she says alignment message. And I like that. I'm going to start calling reverse card alignment messages. Yeah. Right now, you have all the time in the world to reach the fullest potential of your intentions and desires. So she's a Celtic goddess of time. She's your champion. She will ensure your timing is perfect. The hours will expand to gift you with the space you need to complete anything that you started. Today, recognize that no matter what is in front of you, time is your friend. Consider that everything you intend and desire also has its own relationship to time, and all will come to you in the perfect form and in the perfect moment. Patience, dedication, and quiet anticipation are delicate yet potent allies right now. She is your ally and your timing is perfect. So that's, I feel like the release, the disappointment, like it's about timing. Okay. What do you got? What is the timing helping us with?
Okay.
What is the release leading us to?
So I'm going to read from the guidebook because these cards are still new, but we're in September. So we have wheat. We're in harvest season.
Yeah.
I thought that was really cool. Okay, so let me just take a gander here. Let's see. Sorry. Cue waiting music. Here we go. Okay, so it says the keywords harvest, nourishment. That feels huge. And abundance. So upright, And so for our listeners, wheat, there's literally a picture of wheat here.
Yeah.
Okay. And it looks very fall-like with the colors. So it says the time of harvest is a time of abundance, of appreciation for all that nature has given us. It is also a time for celebrating the results of your hard work. And choosing this card could indicate that it is time to stop working for a while, to take some time to appreciate your achievements and give thanks for the harvest of your life. It may be that you spend a great deal of energy sowing seeds and caring for your plants, working for the future and caring for your family. But it is vital that you also give yourself time to savor life in the moment and to enjoy the family as a community, and a tribe too. This card may also indicate that you are entering a phase of abundance, bringing you riches in your relationships and in your spiritual, creative, and material lives. This is a card that symbolizes generosity. When your needs at a material and emotional level are satisfied, you are then free to focus on the gifts you can give to the world.
I love
So,
this. It's very aligned with the time of year.
yeah,
I feel like it's very aligned with the time message too, because it's essentially, it said, take the time.
take the time.
It's about being here now. It's about, so maybe, maybe the anger or the impatience or the frustration we're feeling about timing is that something hasn't happened quick enough, like that abundance that your
Yeah,
card brings in is like
yeah,
just at our fingertips and we're like patiently awaiting it. And so maybe we're like kind of shedding all those kind of emotional feelings around it, or if something about worthiness wants to come in
yeah.
this moment.
It also, I'm hearing like the word like shedding your expectations.
Oh, we talked about that in the last episode, didn't we? Yeah.
Did we? Oh, it's just,
Attachment, remember, and releasing your expectations
yeah,
around things.
that's true. That's true. Yeah, yeah, yeah. So you're releasing your expectations, maybe just about the self, right? Um, and I feel like it's just making we're making way for this new chapter in our lives, right? I feel like maybe we're all like working really hard to create that thing we want, or we're
Mm-hmm.
working really hard for something that maybe just hasn't totally happened yet. And that's a time just to be like, hey, it's coming. Just like appreciate where you are now,
Yeah.
so that, and then when that thing comes, it's just going to happen. So it feels like naturally or organically,
Yeah, and I think
whatever that
appreciating
is.
where you are now is often the key and like the last step when it comes to manifestation in general, right? Or a lot. It's like, okay, you've done all this work,
Mm-hmm.
you've done all the things. Now you have to align to that energy. Like
Yeah.
you've done it, but can you be it, right? Because we know that energy reflects like who you are versus what
Mm-hmm.
you do,
What you
right?
do.
So it's
Yeah.
like when you become that which what you want,
Mm-hmm.
based on, I think, through worthiness, maybe that's why that came in, then
Yeah.
that's the last step, right? And then it can come to
That
you.
it can come.
So the release that's happening collectively and individually is like releasing all that keeps us from aligning with that thing.
That thing that we want or where we want to
Yeah.
be.
Yeah. Yeah. I feel that.
That's
I
really
feel
cool.
that. This feels like a message for all of the fall. Do you feel that too?
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah.
And I
Yeah.
like that word generosity for some reason, and
Yeah.
like nourishment, those two words for the fall. Being kind to yourself,
Yeah. Taking care of
taking
yourself.
care of yourself. Yeah.
Yeah. And just like traditional harvest is when you're kind of celebrating the
Yeah.
year, but you're also probably eating really well, right?
Yep.
In the
Yep.
harvest, traditionally, that's when you
Yeah.
would eat really well. Yeah, you're just kind of stopping and taking a moment and reflection. And I feel like this is a very introspective time. Like this is
Yeah.
an introspective season. I
Yeah.
think that's what fall is.
It is.
Well, I know winter is
Yeah.
absolute introspection, but like fall is kind of like the shedding, because people often talk about autumn being the season of death. I've heard so many times it's like when things are starting to die, but
Yeah.
also that corresponds so well with this message of releasing
Yes.
what
Yeah.
needs to die, like what needs to
What
die.
needs to die in order
Yeah,
to, right? Because death doesn't just mean, oh, it's the end, it's done. It simply is
the end of the
transitioning.
yeah,
Yeah.
of that cycle, the
End of that
transition.
cycle. It's a transition.
I love that. Amazing.
That feels
Amazing.
really good.
Well, thanks for joining us, everyone. We'll see you back
Yeah, thank you.
in 2 weeks.
Yes, as we
Yeah,
dive into spooky season.
we'll be here with bells on. I'll be wearing more spooky season shirts.
Yes. I
Yeah.
already feel spooky. I know we're doing this in August, but I'm just like ready for it.
Well, that's when things start.
Yeah.
Yeah. I always think about, I know August is summer, but it feels fallish to me sometimes too.
Yeah.
Yeah, maybe not weather-wise always, but like
Definitely not weather-wise. Yeah.
it's getting a little bit darker, a little bit earlier, every single day. You
Yeah.
we lose like a minute or
May
something
lose
like
it.
that.
Yeah.
Yeah, because it's
Yeah.
now like 8:30. It used to be like 9. So
I
yeah,
know it's true. Yeah.
I know that's the only part I don't like
Yeah.
is
When
losing the
it's
light.
losing the light.
Yeah, yeah.
Yep.
I like it for like I do like it through like October to December. Like I really don't mind that it gets dark at like 5 o'clock. But then I only want it to last like that little period.
I know. I
And
know. Then you're like,
then I'm like, okay, I'm over this thing.
yeah.
Yeah. Okay. Well, have a good day, everyone. Thanks
Yes,
for
everyone.
listening. See you
Thank
next week.
you.
Bye-bye.
Bye.
If you like what you're hearing, don't forget to give us a 5-star review on Apple Podcast and tune in each week as we dish on all things spiritual.
Don't forget to like, comment on what you would like to hear us talk about next, and subscribe.